Is your puffed up intellectualism and posturing a defense mechanism, or do you actually think you're smarter than everyone else?
I am simply a passionate follower of Jesus Christ.
Nothing sells your ideas better than genuine passion. If you're not passionate about your job or your education, consider either finding something within them that sparks your passion, or finding a new path altogether. Passion is not everything, but it is powerful. It signals authenticity. It draws people in. It energizes your message and adds credibility to your voice, while passion alone won't carry you all the way. Discipline, skill, and strategy matter too. It is a strong first step. When you're passionate about something, it shows, and that can make all the difference. Cliff is passionate about Jesus because he gives him life, meaning, and real, not fleeting purpose.
And I've seen that the evidence is he lived a sinless life, he taught amazing ethical teachings like the Sermon on the Mount, he died forgiving his enemies, and he rose from the dead 3 days later.
Passion on its own can be dismissed. Without evidence, it's often seen as just emotion. That's why when people like Cliff speak passionately about Jesus, they don't rely on passion alone. They also point to historical and ethical evidence. Here are 4 powerful, historically grounded reasons why the case for Jesus stands out. 1. Jesus lived a sinless life. Everything we know about Jesus, even from non-Christian sources, gives no indication that he ever committed a sin. Critics sometimes take his words out of context, like when he said, "I did not come to bring peace, but a sword," Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. But in context, he was warning that following him would provoke hostility from others, not that he himself would promote violence. In fact, he harmed no one. He healed, welcomed, and loved every person who came to him. 2. His ethical teaching is unparalleled. Jesus taught that the greatest commandment is to love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself. This golden rule ethic, doing unto others as you would have them do unto you, has shaped much of the world's moral vision. But Jesus didn't just teach it, he lived it. His life was a model of selfless love, mercy, and justice. His forgiveness at the cross shows divine love while dying. Jesus prayed, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." Luke 23:34. Even in his final moments, he showed mercy and love toward his killers, a powerful testament to his character. His followers were willing to die for him. Jesus was executed, and many of his disciples were martyred. People don't die for something they know is a lie. Their willingness to suffer and die affirms their conviction that Jesus really rose from the dead and is who he claimed to be.
I put my faith in him, and I'm a beggar who was found where living bread is, in a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, and I've come to tell fellow beggars where they can find living bread also, in your own personal relationship with Jesus Christ.
Cliff says that being a Christian doesn't mean you're better, smarter, or more spiritual than anyone else. It's like being a beggar who found bread, and then telling other beggars where to find it. He's not claiming moral superiority. He's simply sharing his experience. He says something like, "I found life. I found hope. I found forgiveness in Jesus, and now I want others to know they can find it too." It's not about boasting, it's about bearing witness. Just one beggar helping another find the bread of life.
I have repeatedly said, do not believe in Jesus because I do. You'd be a fool to believe in Jesus because I do, because you don't know me from Adam. Instead, I've pleaded with people, read the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, for yourself. And ask yourself, does the historical evidence of the way he lived, taught, died, and rose from the dead point to Jesus being reliable or not? And you decide for yourself. That's all I'm saying.
Pastor Cliff's openness and humility are key to how he communicates the gospel, especially to students and skeptical audiences. He's clear. Don't believe just because I say so. I'm not the authority. Investigate the historical evidence for Jesus yourself. This approach disarms defensiveness and builds trust. Instead of preaching down, he invites dialogue. He respects people's intelligence and free will, urging them to think critically, examine the facts. and come to their own conclusions. By presenting himself not as a spiritual salesman, but as a fellow seeker who found something real, Cliff makes faith more approachable. His honesty creates space for genuine questions, and that's where the gospel can really land. When someone calls your faith blind but you've actually examined the evidence, let's be real about Christianity. If Jesus truly is who he claimed to be, passion isn't just normal, it's the only rational response. The evidence doesn't demand blind faith, it invites honest investigation. Historical documents, archaeological findings, and fulfilled prophecies all point to something extraordinary. But here's what sets authentic faith apart: humility. It's not about having all the answers, but being confident enough in what you believe to welcome dialogue, questions, and even doubts. True faith doesn't fear scrutiny, it welcomes it, because truth has nothing to hide and everything to reveal.